Give us any chance, we'll take it. Read us any rule, we'll break it. We're gonna make our dreams come true.
Welcome to Night After Night, a podcast about 8 seasons in a row. I'm Lucy Fernandez, and...
Oh, warning, danger, warning, danger. Sorry, I got lost for a second there. I am Chris Wardna. Hello, danger.
Beep, bop, beep, 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 bop. And we're about to review Lost in Spacesuits, written by Barry Rabinowitz. Hi, Barry. And directed by Tom Trivovich. I'm sure Chris has some kind of facts coming up about the two of them.
I do, especially because this is one last time into the breach for Barry.
Yeah. He did a whole heck of a lot of episodes earlier in the show's run, and now he's having this one last blast in the saddle. It's a very weird blast, but it's not as weird as the rest of the show is going to be. Here's what the episode's about. Thanks to the intervention of her pop, who tracks down an aerospace company owner whose life he saved during World War II, Laverne gets a brand new job testing equipment for Ajax Aerospace. Meeting her unforgiving new boss, Bullets Klein, she finds herself testing battery-operated gravity boots. In spite of her futuristic digs, Laverne finds the new work kind of mind-numbing. But her odd new colleague, Chuck, is fun and a little dumb in a very familiar way. Unfortunately, he also encourages her to try on a prototype anti-gravity suit, which malfunctions and causes her to float towards the ceiling when she puts it on. She manages to get down to Earth, the suit is stuck on her body. She and Chuck arrive home, only to learn that her friends and family are throwing her a birthday party 3 weeks early. They then must try to hide her from angry Bullets, who shows up looking for the new suit prototype. Can Laverne save her new job? What do you think of this one?
Well, on a side note, I have two pieces of news. The good news is we don't have to worry about that robot that we're going to have watch the rest of season 8 for us. The bad news is it's not because the robot broke down; it quit.
It just exploded and just started steam and
yeah, so
things went kablooey and melted.
So I'm not sure how much I like or dislike this episode. The second half of it is asinine to me. Asinine. Take an ass, take a donkey, multiply by 9. Asinine. Yeehaw. So, a new job. We have another war story. Nice pull. I like the pull of the Anzio war story. And the story itself is actually really cute because, the guy takes it very seriously, but it sounds ridiculous in out of context. And it's the kind of, it reminds me of how one of the funny things about the Big Red One is all of the comedic weird bits of dialogue and comedic darkly comedic things that happen. All of those are either things that happened to Sam Fuller or to people he knew.
Oh man!
And so that's the thing is that it's like Ajax, look, don't go over there. There's a bomb. That is the kind of silly thing. It's a very frank thing. I love that.
Yes.
I'm sad that this is the only appearance of Robert Hogan as Bullets Klein, because God, what a wonderfully over the top caricature of the kind of guy you used to see on I Dream of Jeannie. But way funnier because of it.
Very Major Bellows.
Yes. Yes. But then we get to Chuck as a character. I'm not sure if I like him or not because he's not different enough from Lenny. He just seems like a Lenny that's got a little bit of a mad genius sort of thing to him. And then the whole scenario and the whole the background check was funny, but and the whole talking in code, but just God, what a just kind of, I don't know, just it's just, I guess here's what it is. It starts fantastic and then it fizzles. Kind of like a model rocket.
Like champagne going flat.
Yeah.
For me, this isn't the worst episode of the season. We're getting there. This is a perfectly episode. The original intent here, by the way, was to have both the girls get factory jobs at this aerospace plant. And to return the girls to their blue-collar roots. That was the idea. Because they realized that a big part of what was missing in the move was the fact that they took the girls away from factory life and from blue-collar living. So the plan had been that both the girls were going to work in this place, and it was supposed to both be futuristic and be like their old jobs, and have them struggle a little bit more with money and stuff. I love that Frank admits that his previous Anzio stories weren't true.
Yeah. Oh, God, it's a great touch.
That's so funny. Oh, I love that. everybody is generally okay in this. You can see them trying to wedge Chuck, not even in as a new Lenny, but they're bringing him in as a new wacky kind of guy. Like Lenny and Squiggy, but different, smarter, better paying job, nerdier interests, you're going to find out soon enough. And yeah, even nerdier interests. Well, I'd say, or maybe equally nerdy interests.
Yeah, I was gonna say because there's that whole she's talking about Captain Video and the Video Rangers, and then he mentioned I wish we all looked as good as Princess Luna did at 2,000 years old.
He's going to develop a specific sort of fandom deeper in the season. He appears a few times in this show before they write him out towards the end of the season. But he's pretty much a clear, we're shoving this guy in here to stop the gap sort of character.
Gotcha.
And he could be worse. Charles Fleischer was also put in the unenviable task of trying to fill in on Welcome Back, Kotter and being one of the characters they introduced to kind of stop bleeding after John Travolta. Only started doing recurring appearances in the show after his career launched.
I did notice his being on Welcome Back, Kotter. I was wondering about the context of that, so that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Yes, he's one of the characters. They did have a hunky guy who was more overtly Barbarino-ish, and he was also brought in, I think, also to stem the gap because they tried to do a Horseshack spinoff. So he was also brought in for that reason. Yeah, that was Horseshack. But that's what happened with him. And so he had to do this twice in a row. Good for him for landing Roger Rabbit and getting a toehold in and voiceover community and entering immortality after all the crap he went through. Because Lord,
he
deserved it.
He did, yeah. No, he's a talented dude. Like, as much as I will have it to probably, I suspect, take issue with the even his performance as Chuck. It's Roger Rabbit. I can't hate him.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's Roger. My note is, oh yeah, he's Roger fucking Rabbit.
Yes, he is. He sure as heck is.
Yeah, but I even mentioned Charles Fleischer. It's like, oh yeah, this one's got Charles Fleischer in it, and I mentioned this offhandedly to my friend Vanessa, and she's like, oh, it's got Roger Rabbit in it. It's one of her 5 favorite movies of all time. So that's why.
That's lovely. That's lovely. But yeah, everybody's really nice in here. Everybody's really kind to Laverne. They try to be.
Mm-hmm.
And the conflict is pretty decent. And for me, my favorite part is the tag scene. But yeah, this episode was almost worth a more... wasn't worth the trouble that they got into making it. We're going to cover that as we move through the episode.
Yeah, because this one's got a particularly infamous stunt in it involved.
Yeah, that went wrong.
Yeah. But yeah, as you were saying, to comment on what you were saying about how everyone's relatively nice to Laverne, I love that even Bullets Klein says, you're the type of person that's going to push me to the edge. I like it. And
I like it.
and but at the same time, it's also a case of this is a dude who's so intense that he actually relishes a challenge by dealing with a new coworker or a new person employed, at the company. That's going to kind of drive him a little nuts. Oh, yeah.
You can see him skydiving without a parachute for fun. That's the kind of guy G. Bullets Klein is.
Yeah. Yeah. And that whole bit, his response to the Abacadabra system was fantastic.
Yeah, it's delightful. That's lovely. He's so done with Laverne. He'll hold on to her since her dad saved her boss's life.
Right.
So,
yeah.
There we go.
And yeah, and it was good. And actually, that was another thing I also really liked was Raleigh Bond. Excuse me. Wow, I'm the one who can't talk either. It's been a day. Just for those that don't know, it's been a day. It's been a bit of a day. But yeah, Raleigh. Oh, thanks, Pacific Rim. You just ruined it for me. Raleigh Bond as Bill Ajax. He was really charming in this.
Yeah. Yeah, he did a good job. He's very funny.
And I did not realize. I was like, why is this guy so familiar? He's Mr. Barrett in Pennies from Heaven.
Oh.
And he's the minister in Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Okay, that's why he's familiar. All right, that's awesome. That's cool.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of
fun.
other stuff that he's done. I made sure to make notes. Like he popped into Lou Grant and The Paper Chase and 7 episodes of Alice, an episode of Moonlighting, Newhart. He's in the Poster No Always Rings Twice, Jack Nicholson version. But yeah, like there's a lot of really charming aspects to it, and that's why I think the inane qualities that overtake the episode in the last half, like really pulls it back, holds it down, is because you have these really fun character actors, and like and Rabinowitz in true form has some really good, funny, weird things that take place, like the way Bullets Klein like calls it, she says, "Now that sounds awfully dull, take the boot, turn on the switch, put it on the scale, assembly line testing the boots," and responding to her saying that's awfully dull, Bullets just responds, "It is." And and it's like he understands that the robot didn't break down, it quit. He gets it.
Yeah, he would gladly do it too at this point.
Exactly. That's why he relishes his position as being a person that oversees things and has heads up security, and it's like, we'll put a fruit pie on the fridge and I'll be right down.
It's so good. It really is so good. He specifically does an incredible job making this character spring to life. It's terrific. It's just terrific. I guess we should start by tisking Frank for giving his daughter slugs.
When she was 5.
When she was 5. Putting her in her piggy bank.
That's
Frank.
rough.
I guess that makes sense. That makes sense since I guess he didn't have any money. He was, selling items door to door before he got the pizza bowl together.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense. Jeez, give her a dime, give her a nickel, give her something, give her a penny.
Yeah, and that's the thing. They're all slugs. That's the thing.
Yeah,
there's not any real change in that thing.
Yep.
But I do love the whole thing of her looking for the job, getting stuff ready for the garage sale, and Carmine's trying to help her out, and it's like, can you type 60 words per hour? Well, we'll forget that one. He crosses it off in the newspaper. Meet interesting people while earning big bucks. No experience necessary. Apply in person. Chez Paris Topless Dance Club.
And we will see Laverne try something a little bit risque in the next episode.
Oh, yeah.
So that's an interesting bit of unintentional foreshadowing, considering the episode order got shuffled around in here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm sure. And then Rhonda planning the surprise party, which I thought was really sweet and was really nice to. When we're just getting into the episodes of season 6 where Rhonda started to win me over, and as in the episodes that I'm editing now to post up. That was the one that went up today. Actually, was one where one of our fans, Hi Myth is, that they commented that Rhonda gets much more likable in season 8, and this is definitely one of those moments. And she paid a guy, the handsome buff guy, to basically be in like practically like a Speedo or a bikini briefs doing jumping jacks. That was adorable.
That's a true. When you have Laverne DeFazio for a friend, that is a true friend. That is a true friend gesture.
That's a true friend gesture. Oh yeah,
she's enjoying that stuff. And then they're both enjoying it, and Frank enters horrified about the whole situation. That Baby Huey line, though. That Baby Huey line. Oh, man. What goes up must be Ajax is a great tagline.
Yes. Yep. That's a great tagline. I know this guy from Anzio. No, this one's true. I saved his life.
You got your daughter a job in a dirty movie?
What movie? She was a substitute teacher. Yeah, because, okay, for people wondering with the context of that, the setup to that joke, that punchline, is that Laverne says, Pop, the last time you got me a job, I ended up covered in whipped cream, tied to a chair, and arrows being thrown at me. And that's when Carmine gets defensive, like, you put your daughter in a dirty movie?
What kind of dirty movies is Carmine watching?
Doris Wishman films.
Boom, boom, boom. Yes, he sure is. He sure as hell is. He is watching tickle bondage fetish movies.
Mm-hmm.
Carmine is jerking it too, y'all. That's why he was so satisfied with Shirley.
He's basically watching the kind of dirty movies that John Waters was like, yes, pure cinema.
Yes! I must parody this eventually. All of my characters played by Divine will participate in these movies at least once in the early days. Oh
my gosh.
Female trouble now.
Oh God,
Oh, Don Davenport.
yeah. Female Trouble's the one that's got the "Who Wants to Die for Art" bit, right?
Yes. It's very prescient about the way we consume reality television now. And it's got Don
That's
Davenport. Divine's Don Davenport, who goes crazy and goes off the deep end because she didn't get cha-cha heels for Christmas. So she loses her mind.
Oh my God.
Many things happen.
And this film's almost 50 years old now, and it's still so goddamn prescient. That's terrifying.
Incredibly relevant, man.
Ugh. Anyway, okay, scale 1 to 10, how much are we liking this bit of, okay, Laverne, you want to tell me there's a guy in his underwear across the street doing jumping jacks holding a sign that says, "Hi, Laverne"? And then she goes, you want to explain why you gave me slugs when I was 5?
Nobody does. I like it. Scale 1 to 5, this is about a 6 for that. It's funny. This is funny. Things are incredibly unfunny in the future, so this I will call this funny.
Oh boy. Oh God, that's troubling.
Oh God. Oh, wait for it.
So now the aerospace company. So I've been meaning to mention this for like the last few episodes as we've been finally getting into season 8 proper, but I noticed they're trying to shake off the doldrums of like, oh, it's just the same show. Oh, it's the same show. It's 8 years of the same show. They have a new set every single episode. Like art department were absolutely earning their keep on this episode, on this whole season. Because like, yes, the last episode, or the last one, The Note, doesn't have like a major set, but it still has something. And they've had the window in the, the living in the window in episode 2. They had the hospital in the first episode, and now they have the aerospace interior. I'm assuming we're going to see this a couple more times, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I think we see it at least once.
Okay.
I can't remember how many times Laverne is actually at work during these episodes, but it's not very often because we go through a lot of colorful changes throughout this season.
Now, does that mean they're going to increase the Flash Gordon noise and put more science stuff around?
And there's much flashing and much sciencey noises. Normal view. Normal view.
Laverne looks really cute in a science suit. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, she does.
Did you notice that Bullets uses his middle finger to point at his name tag?
Yep. Very subtle. Very subtle. Beautifully subtle, y'all. And Laverne's just insulting this guy to his face, which is idiotic. Because even Laverne has had tact until she's pushed too far. And, she would call, like, shots banana nose or pickle puss or anything insulting if she knew he couldn't hear her. And it's only for a good reason.
Exactly. And I'm sure, she called him pig fucker and, shithead and
motherfucker.
Dildo brain. Actually, no, he can't be a dildo brain because that means his brain would actually have a use other than, just being like a big bag of cheese that you just squeeze.
Delicious on popcorn and toppings.
Like I said, it's been a week. I'm a little punchy.
Delicious on popcorn and toppings.
Yeah, but anyway, it's a good point though that her tact was disheartening to see given how desperate she is at this point for a job.
Yeah.
And she does pull it around like, it's a Bullet. That's a dog's name. It's also your boss's name. It's a lovely name. That was, okay, but it's an interesting it's one of those joke at the expense of character moments. Yeah.
And to be frank, like Laverne could be tactless like that with the guy at Bardwell's.
Yeah.
She could be tactless like that with Mr. Schatz. But it's only for good reason when she felt like she was getting screwed over, not when she was trying to ingratiate. And that's the problem.
Yep.
Because Laverne can be tactless, but not like this.
Yeah, because this isn't careless. This is tactless. Yeah.
Exactly. Precisely.
And then the reveal that the only reason she has the aptitude for science is because she used the Abacadabra system.
Yep. I did watch Mr. Wizard a lot.
Willing to learn.
And so he just kind of gives her a job where she probably won't kill herself. Ow.
Yeah.
She probably won't kill herself, basically.
Did you hit your hand?
I hit my funny bone against my desk.
Oh, honey buns. No.
Oh, I'm alive. And here comes Charles Fleischer as Chuck.
My note is I immediately feel a strange connection, yet animosity towards him.
That's a feeling that many fans of Laverne Shirley do feel for Chuck. Because on one hand, like we said, he's very much sitting here replacing Lenny to a degree. But he's also not even working with Squiggy. He's just like existing in his own bubble.
Mm-hmm.
But Chuck's not a bad guy.
Yeah.
And he's an interesting variation on the nerdy type.
Right. And I do love Bullets Klein Klein just accepts. He has his own methods. And, as we introduce Chuck, he's testing, well, that's actually my question. Is he testing the helmet or the radios? Because he's clearly smacking what seems to be like the frame or chassis for a radio module onto this helmet. And it's not quite clear whether he's testing either one or both.
Yeah. It makes no sense, what he's doing, basically. We just have sciencey stuff and he's touching it.
Right.
That's basically the grand span of everything. Okay. So, Laverne goes through her job. She's getting bored. She's getting more bored. She's getting more bored. And Chuck shows her the anti-gravity suit.
Well, first he says, take off your clothes.
Yes, first says take off her clothes, and she's offended.
Yeah, my note is, Chuck, no.
Yeah, that is a correct note and a good note. Okay, so the flippy stuff that takes place here, it looks so smooth, looks so nice. All of this was filmed at the dress rehearsal. Because during tape night, there was a bit of an accident. It was infamously in the second Laverne and Shirley reunion special. What happened during tape day was Penny was up on the guide wires. She had been worried about the safety of it at the time, but she had, her brother had talked her into it, but she had rehearsed before without the helmet on. And Gary said, "You put the helmet on. You don't do any of this with your helmet off." And she thought he was being ridiculous, and she sassed at him and all that jazz. But she put the helmet on, and she had for the dress and for taping, which was a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because when she was strapped in the guide wires, flipping around end over end for this episode, one of the guide wires that was holding one of her feet snapped, and she fell to the stage floor.
Yep, it's a nasty spill.
It's a nasty, nasty spill. Poor Charles Fleischer looks horrified. He's trying to help her, he can't. Because you can't catch her.
Mm-hmm. The
crew gathers around. Penny was bundled off into an ambulance in her green Laverne robe, which is how she ended up having custody of it. And she gave it to Cindy Williams.
Oh, I didn't know that part.
And Cindy Williams had it. Yeah, when Penny died, that's what happened. It ended up in Cindy's possession. I don't know where it is now, obviously, since he's passing. But that's how it ended up happening. But she got bundled off the hospital, got checked out, got x-rayed. Everything was fine, but she was bruised all the way down one side of her body, and she was extremely sore. And what she did was gathered the cast together, since they were going to have to, do physical stuff and, pretend to be holding her down to the ground level and say, okay, you can touch the top of my head, you can touch the side of my body, don't touch me here, don't touch me there, because this is where it hurts. On the side that she fell down on. So everybody, she said, did a good job making sure to touch her on that part of her body, and they got through the scene.
So, I have comments on this.
Yes.
So when you see the shot, and especially when you see the blooper, you really can notice this.
Yes.
Why the fuck is there no padding on the floor or in the suit?
I don't know, and they're very lucky she didn't break a bone. It's pretty shocking that they didn't have it, especially when Gary was saying they're harping on her putting a helmet on.
Yeah.
By the way, in the end, she was happy that he told her to do that because it saved her neck and her head.
Absolutely.
But, yeah.
Yeah. But so I'm not going to say I've done a lot of stuff in my projects. I've not had a lot of stunts in them because I know it's expensive and I know that things can go wrong, and that's why I try to be much more careful about that. That's why I do more horror films than action films these days.
Yes.
However, special pads are always common in a testing environment in universe.
Yes.
There would probably be pads everywhere logically.
Yeah.
And not to mention the sound guys would love that, because then it would help dampen the sound the way like when you put carpets on a hardwood floor, and it could have been done so much safer and smarter because this type of guide wire type work is very challenging. And as you also are able to notice in the taped version, which has, essentially the mistake, the where the accident happens, it was bad. It's bad rigging. The positions, in my opinion, based on how baggy the suit is, are not fantastic. Yeah. And, again, I'm not like a trained professional per se, clarifying, but this was incredibly avoidable. Where if she fell, she could have fallen onto padded floors or have had padding all on her sides, because of the guide wires and all that are on the edges of the suit, which they appear to be based on the footage. Yep. Then you can just all that because it's stretching the suit out away from her body, pad everything else on the inside, everything else. And it's like, oh, but it's not going to match. I don't care. It keeps the actor safe. Keeps them from dying. Like, safety is the number one concern whenever doing a stunt like this. And it's one of those, I'm amazed it took until season 8 for something of this magnitude to finally happen. Yeah. Because as we've said before, we've marveled at the stunt work and stunt performances that many of these actors have given. I mean, even Eddie has done jumps in his dance routines that are risky, that are not safe. And he's pulled them off, and he's been safe, and he's been okay. Mm-hmm. But it's,
It's amazing nobody broke a bone. It really is amazing nobody broke a bone. The worst thing that ever happened besides that was, I think, Penny ended up having to have stitches or staples put in her head because Michael accidentally kicked her during something.
Right.
And he turned around to laugh, and then he was horrified because blood was trickling down her forehead. So he accidentally kicked her right in her hairline.
Oh.
Yeah. That was the worst things that ever happened on that set, which is kind of amazing. Yeah. Because it's such a physical show. But it's kind of amazing when you look at, like, Third Annual Shots Talent Show. And you see the girls up on those wires doing ding-dong, down, ding-dong, and there's nothing underneath them. Mm-hmm. There's no pads there at all to catch them. It's, God forbid, anything happen.
Exactly. Because what happened here could have happened there. What was that, like 4 seasons ago? Yep.
Yeah.
So it's a trip. Not to belabor the point, but that is it's a bummer because you can see why they're trying to do the bit, because it's a funny bit. It's very cute. It's decently executed. I mean, because I will say you can't in what is in the actual episode on the DVD, can't really see the wires too much, which is pretty impressive. But pad the goddamn floors, guys. Yeah. Just pad the floors.
Yeah. Do something that will prevent people from getting severely injured. That is the best idea. That's the only idea I can give y'all. Because, Lord, they got really lucky on the show. They really, honestly, it's amazing how lucky they got. If you really think about how much physical work they had to do every single episode and how many life-endangering stunts they went through, and yet nobody got hurt. Small miracles. The tiniest of miracles.
Indeed. And to get things...
Total miracle. Yes.
To get things reoriented, my 2 notes here about this is Chuck is clearly trying to be Lenny 2.0 since they've done their best to sink that ship. And the next one is a Mortal Kombat 11 reference that she's got the spins, which any Cabal players out there will understand what the hell I'm talking about. Laverne, you look really good upside down. Implications.
Yeah, implications. I used to be a woman, Chuck. Now I'm a balloon.
But hey, at least they could take her to the kite flying contest.
There you go. So he gets her down. They realize that she's stuck in the suit, and they decide to head off to find a way to get out of the suit and take it off company property, which is a dumb idea. But hey,
it's a really dumb idea because the way they work this around is that no one could be found on the premises because they're not allowed overtime, and this is one of those things that all you have to do is clock out.
Yeah, exactly.
You just clock, and like, yes, understandably, as an aerospace company, there's going to be security checks and things like that. But you'd literally just tell Bullets, like, listen, we wanted to test this out. We were getting bored. You understand, and he understands. He understands what they would get bored. And the good news is it works. The bad news is the lock's broken. And then anyway, so there's this whole rigmarole to get him out there, and oh, hey, hi, Paramount Backlot. I didn't see you over there.
It's very, very, very obvious that they're on a lot. It's very obvious.
Dude, the company store is in this long, like, 10-second shot.
Okay, what's a worse blooper? The person sitting there with their legs sticking out and Laverne's broken leg, Future Chris insert picture here, or the freaking company store. Future Chris also inserted picture here.
I'm never going to live down that I forgot to put in that damn picture, am I?
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But I'm saying, what's the bigger blooper here? Seriously, what's the bigger blooper?
To be frank, I would say the company store one, because all you have to do is just pan. Yeah, whereas the person in the corner, that's pretty easy to miss, especially if the camera operator is in a hurry. That's pretty easy, because either it's the actor or it's the script supervisor, and either way, that's easy to miss. Yeah,
I'm 90% sure that's Laverne's guardian angel there.
Yeah,
his legs sitting there with the script.
Oh, Bernie, you fucking piece of shit! I'm so glad your episode is finally done and out of the way, and I don't have to fucking think about it ever again. Anyway, sorry, we were saying.
Anyway. Oh God. Okay, but I was gonna say So they get off the Paramount lot.
and then they have that shot with a bunch of 70s cars in it.
Oh yeah, which and it's supposed to be the mid 60s, mid to late 60s here. So
yeah, 67. And there's a couple of them, but oh god, yeah, most of that is like I think I spotted I want to say I spotted a Dodge that was clearly from like 73 or something.
Yeah. Between that and the disco colors, they've given up.
Yeah,
they've just really given up this season. It's like over. So I think they got on a bus. Did they not? They got on a bus. I'm 90% sure they got on a bus.
They do get a bus. They mentioned getting on a bus and all of that, because remember, that's even part of Laverne's ramble to Bullets about how all that how this all happened.
Yeah. It is. I'm surprised she did not try to call Squiggy to go pick her up or something.
That's a really good. Squiggy's not even in the episode. You're totally right.
He's not. Oh, yeah. Yep. That's another week off for David, which is weird. He doesn't even get invited to Laverne's birthday party, which is taking place 3 weeks early to surprise her. I guess it's logical, almost. Kinda.
It's logical and I say this with love. It's logical in a Rhonda sort of way.
Yes. It's Dottie in a very appealing Rhonda way. I will say that. But so the munchies are referred to.
Mm-hmm. I was hungry. The 7 years ago, you bought Girl Scout cookies from Anna Johnson. 7 years later, she became a communist. How do you explain that? I love that Bullets Klein is this wonderful, rah-rah patriot that believes in guilt by association. By the way, I do not believe in guilt by association. I just find that these archetypes are very funny, because this is the kind of motherfucker that, would have been like, Mr. Wayne, we need you to name more names.
Yeah. Herbert Hoover was this man's best friend. You cannot tell me otherwise. You know it. You know it.
Friend or best friend?
They exchanged lovely slips from Fredericks of Hollywood. I'm gay and I'm allowed to say that. Okay? I'm allowed to make that joke. Oreo's in the locker, though. Oreo's in the locker. Wow.
Yes. Yeah, this whole... yes, this is Twinkie. What's that? A fruit pie? A cookie is missing from the cookie jar? Did you tell Cupcake? We'll put a fruit pie in the fridge and I'll be there as soon as I can.
No, Cupcake. God. My big note as Laverne and Chuck enter the room is Chuck looks like a lost monkey. And he does look like a lost monkey. The outfit. He is the most mid to late 60s dressed guy in the entire episode.
At first, I actually thought he was an extra from the girl with the golden boots that somehow ended up in this picture.
Keep your silver bra filled with breast. God, that is such a great MC3K episode. Watch it, y'all, after you're done with us. What'd you give me this for? It's ugly. We're just dying at Rhonda's terrible taste. And everybody gathering together to be sportive.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to be nice, and then they discover why she's in big old trouble.
Yeah. My note here, by the way, just because I think you're going to find this hilarious, this part put my mother to sleep.
Oh dear, that's endearing. I feel like that part of the episode has indeed put a lot of people to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
I will,
gosh.
but I will give a shout out to this other line. Let me get this straight, Fruit Pie. The cookie's been spotted riding a chicken.
I know it looks like I'm wearing a lot of evidence. That is a funny line.
Yeah, I'm wearing a lot of evidence, but I'm no traitor.
I'm the bear.
Ah, you see? Simple. Yes, she is.
Oh.
Then second chances. Then it's all fine and okay. And that is the end of my notes for what's in the episode before the tag. 'Cause
I'm gonna
fuck
feel
me
more.
running. I did not. I was done. I was so done. Because that's the other catch is because of, and I suspect also partly because of the injury that Penny incurred, is pretty much was like a case of just trying to rush through that final portion, just try to get it done and wrapped up. And once more, this comes off as a very like haphazard conclusion to an episode that kind of deserves a little more, given that you know there's some really strong elements of the first half that like if it had all sort of together at the end, it would have been nice.
Yeah, and it should basically be a important new setting for the show.
Right. Exactly.
We're establishing an important relationship for Laverne. Ergo, we should take more time with us. And
exactly.
We don't.
I feel sad this is Barry's last one as credited writer.
I know. Good old Barry.
Because, this is a guy, because the other things he did for the most part were pretty goofy. Like he did Plain Hooky, The Stakeout. He did Bad Girls in season 5 was the last time we saw him. But he also did like Squeaky in Love, which has got a lot of great character stuff in it. And he also did Fonzie the Superstar, one of the crossover episodes for Happy Days.
Yes, he did. That is a really good one. That's one of the ones with the girls in it.
Mm-hmm.
Which we're going to be watching soon to fulfill some poll-related requests.
Yeah, I mean, he stayed with some really good colleagues. I mean, this guy he got to work on like different strokes. He even wrote an episode of League of Their Own series in '93. It just feels like because I'm rooting for Barry. I'm rooting for Rabinowitz, man. I want him to be able to have an episode that with all the other, rewrites and other attributions and all that kind of stuff, that he's able to get one that's like, it's good in the books and it's okay. I don't know if I would call this one good, which is sad.
Yeah, I know. It's okay, but it's not the best thing that exists within this fine Laverne Shirley institution, so to speak.
Yeah. By the way, so that kind of will move us into like other behind the camera, in front of the camera. So unfortunately, I don't have a big piece of trivia for Tom Turbovic right now, but he will direct We Are the World documentary at some point, sometime after this episode. It's his third episode of season 8, and as said, I'm not going to mention all the episodes he did for this season because it is far easier to mention the ones he didn't do.
Yeah,
that's how many he did out of a 22 episode season. Okay, Robert Hogan, before I forget, he was another TV legend. He was on Days of Our Lives for 44, he was on Days of Our Lives in the early 70s as Scott Banning Sr., 44 episodes of The Young Marrieds. He played Reverend Tom Winter in Paid in Place.
Hey.
He was also on The Manhunter, and even, of course, Mork and Mindy, Incredible Hulk, and more. He would afterwards jump on an episode of You Again, the Klugman and Stamos project, which quite a few alums of Laverne and Shirley jumped onto as well. Knight Rider, also an episode of the first season of The Fall Guy, an episode of Double Trouble, and stay actually incredibly active even into the 90s. He even showed up in The Wire as one of the Sabatkas, as in, the white people season. And then he was on Law & Order as multiple characters over many years and was staying in the biz even up to 2018. He only passed away recently in 2021, but at the age of 87, having had a wonderfully long and prolific career.
R.I.P. to him.
Yeah. So I also have notice of a teenage Henry actor here. That character doesn't show up. I get the feeling there's a scene that was cut for syndication.
Yes. Unfortunately, and is now the DVD version. But we're going to have to wait and see if we can dig up the footage at some point. Hopefully we can, eventually.
Yeah. Anyway, so that then should transition us into the tag scene. 4 a.m, watching a space shuttle launch. What are your thoughts?
That's adorable. The whole scene's adorable. It's like, back then in the 1960s, this was a important thing. It's a very monumental thing because space launches weren't of the norm. It's not like watching Elon Musk try to get a rocket into space and it explodes a couple of miles in the atmosphere.
Yeah. Here's hoping that actually there was a bunch of useful data they were able to gather from that, because otherwise, oh God, that concerns me a bit.
It was supposed to explode. We did that on purpose. Okay.
Well, the main thing is you have to assess why did it explode, what went wrong, and usually finding out why something exploded is usually pretty helpful.
Exactly. So yeah, I think it's adorable. I love that the smuttiness. Okay, the smuttiness is adorable. I love that Rhonda's very into the smut, and Carmine has heard of the smut. History's being made, Carmine.
Mm-hmm.
They clearly filmed that after Penny's injury.
Yes.
Because notice her embrace cast. I didn't think that she broke any bones. She doesn't say she broke any bones.
You may sometime, but you would possibly want padding on the arm because it may be vulnerable to further damage.
Yeah, that's good.
Because God, can you just sorry to interrupt, but imagine the possible nerve damage after already having that area weakened by bruising and swelling.
Terrible. Ouch.
Yeah.
As I noted, back when shuttle launches were interesting. And everybody's there, and everybody's excited, and everybody's gathered together. I can't imagine the boys waking up this early for this. But I can't imagine Frank doing it either. But it's very nice that Carmine and Rhonda have agreed to do this for Laverne, and they're all together as a family.
Yeah,
and then the sorry.
Well, I was gonna point out Rhonda even saying "Hi ho, brain control," and they said, "Rhonda, I thought you said you needed your beauty rest. I took a look in the mirror and decided I could afford it."
I love her. I love her. I don't even care. She's a highlight of this last dying gasp of my favorite sitcom. I do have one question. Why is there an L on my spacesuit? Now that's a great ending.
That's a punchline. And the little mischievous grin on Laverne's face, like,
is adorable.
I don't know. Maybe did I do something bad?
I'm a naughty girl.
Yeah, that she is. But anyway, yeah. So that kind of gets us to the end of the episode. My final note here is regarding the fact that, this one was sad. It's sad because it's an episode that could be pretty darn good, and it falters for multiple reasons. And it's trying to serve multiple different masters and multiple different things. And it's really like, I think the point that they're starting to realize we need to start doing things very differently because we're starting to lose relevancy on the network and things of that nature. And it's so after these 4 episodes, because we've only watched 4. We're actually, after we record this, we're going to do another 3 or 4 more, depending on our energy levels.
Yes.
And I wasn't intending to show my mother all of these, but we did end up going through all 4 of them. And at the end, she was very nonplussed by this episode. And it made her doze off a bit, and she didn't really like, it's sort of like, didn't hate it, but didn't like it very much. And then I said, 18 more episodes to go, man. She goes, oh, honey, I'm watching this with you as moral support, right?
Sweet. That's so sweet. Aww.
That is my final note on this episode.
Your mom's the best. Your mom stays the best. Okay. I think we're at ranking time. Then.
Yeah, go for it.
This is about a 5 or 4. I feel like it's a 4.5. It is not the worst episode. At least we have some funny jokes. At least we have some nice camaraderie. We get some interesting supporting characters. Chuck is introduced. Laverne's new job is introduced. We get a really nice tag scene. But it's not like, necessary viewing or a huge standout, so it's just okay. Yeah. It's a lot better than what's coming our way.
That worries me.
Oh, wait for it.
Yeah, my feeling is pretty much the same. 4.5, maybe a 5 on a good day where I'm really in the mood. Because, I'm going to see how I end up, do I warm up to Chuck? Or does he make me up Chuck? Or does he make me have to go get my butt chucks to go kick his ass? That's the second Mystery Science Theater reference, huh?
It's an MST2K day.
MST2K. Oh, that's right. Yeah, because we're probably missing. It's been about a year now since season 13 premiered. We're probably missing it.
Oh yeah.
So
Soon though.
yeah, 4.5, 5 on a good day, but you know, it's there. These are really good. These are nice people that did put their heart into it, and that's all I can say. You know, but yeah. So with that in mind, though, we do have some interesting stuff up ahead, and we will have a quick break for a word from our sponsors if we have sponsors to give credit to at this point, because we don't know. But if that is the case, we'll have an advert coming up right now. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the episode that is coming up next, some of the bits of significance of it, as well as let you know about how you can get further in touch with us. Stay tuned. All right, and thank you again so much for joining us for Night After Night. And if you would like to know more, you can find us at Night After Night PC on Twitter or Night After Night Pod on Facebook, Tumblr, WordPress, Patreon, or YouTube, or wherever great podcasts may be found. We are now also, hopefully by the point that this episode comes out, we'll hopefully be on Amazon Podcasts as well. And anyway, that being said, I do believe on the horizon we have another episode. But this one's significant. I see a different name on the directing credits. I think it's coming slowly into focus. Lisa, we'll go to you in the studio. What do you say we have for us tomorrow?
Looking for more cash, Laverne decides to audition for a slot at her soon-to-open local Playboy club. But when she meets a talented fellow auditionee, she starts to wonder if her cottontail really needs to hop up that bunny trail. This is Playboy Show.
This is not what I expected. This is really not what I expected.
Yeah, that's the next episode. That's what we're gonna watch next.
Okay. Did we get a Lenny Bruce cameo at least? Oh wait, he was dead by then. Never mind.
It would have the Lenny Bruce cameo would probably liven this one up, but we do get some Carrie Fisher.
Space Mama?
Space Mama's coming.
That's all I have to say.
Bye, y'all, and remember, if you're gonna put a spacesuit on, make sure it has at least one zipper that you can reach.